This week, we're going to spread a little California love to the agents of Mock. Troy and Agent Brikx and various guests come together on Mondays to give you Mock Day, a LEGO live stream showcasing its awesome fans and their awesome creations. So make sure to scratch out your Mondays for Mock Day. This was not a paid advertisement for the Cali Brick Clique, but we got to show some California love.
Because everyone's like, everyone has an opinion now. Everyone's always having opinions.
Cool. We could run with this. Can we just start? Sure. Or do you want a couple minutes?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'll mute so you don't have to hear me.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cali Brick Clique episode 68. And like always, you can find all these episodes and our previous episodes and anywhere you can find your podcast, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, yada, 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 and of course, YouTube. And like always, we have Ninja with the Bricks.
Whoop, whoop.
Claire, the Plastic Architect.
Hi.
And once again, back on the channel, Lando from Brickmania. How's it going, dude?
good to see you all again.
And he's upgraded his audio, and he has like a little setup going.
Did I?
Yeah, look at him.
Maybe I was just using my MacBook speakers and thinking I was talking into the mic last time. I don't know.
I mean, it sounded good, but like this one looks like you've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, it's all right.
Definitely podcast.
Yeah, definitely podcast material. That's for
It's
sure.
good to be back, anyways.
And I just saw you like a couple days ago.
Yes,
Literally.
that was awesome. It was good to talk to you. I had a lot of fun there. I'm still, I'm not even recovering from jet lag because it was like not enough time to even acquire jet lag. So
It's a 2-hour difference.
well, oh, yeah, that's true. I guess 2 hours. Yeah, a lot of travel. I think I was in the airport more than I was on the ground. So
Yeah, that's for sure. How do you like Cali weather?
of the 5 minutes that I was outside of the door, it was pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Was it not too hot?
It was not too hot. No,
Okay.
it
Was
was
that?
perfect.
Have you
Yeah.
done store openings before?
Yeah. Yeah, they're just it's pretty cool. It's so we were at the, oh man, I got to get my city straight. Miramar location, right? We were just there. It was nice bumping into you, Shy. You hung around for a bit, and it was fun talking with you. We have another store opening up. So this episode right now, what day is this today? That it's airing?
Friday.
It's
The
Friday. It's
15th.
currently
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
We have a store opening in Vallejo. So
Claire's Hood.
No,
Where's
I don't.
Kind of.
That's far from me. I don't know the area at all.
no, so you have to be there, Claire. That's the.
I'm gonna
rule.
be there.
In comparison to the three of us, yeah, you are.
You
It's
have.
okay.
It's
I think it's like
contracted.
I think it's like an hour. I just I don't know the area. It's like all I know is Six Flags is there, and there's like a couple like work complexes, which I think is like where one of these are, like commercial, like office spaces. Which
Six
is,
Flags is cool,
yeah.
but it doesn't have Lego.
No. Mm-mm.
Yes.
Or
yeah,
does it? Because they have Looney
Looney
Tunes.
Tunes.
I don't know.
That's
who
true.
knows?
Who
So that
knows?
we're doing a grand opening there, and I will be there, and a few more of the Brickmania crew. So I hope to see whoever's in the area there. Shy, are you coming out to that one or?
Yep, I am.
You are?
Driving on
Okay,
Friday.
good.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Dang.
my brother lives 30 minutes from there, so I owe him a visit because
Perfect.
I will be gone for Chicago when he comes down here. So I will be there. You guys are doing a ribbon cutting with the mayor?
I heard that we purchased a comically large size of scissors. Yeah, it's like
Nice.
Comically large.
it's just like this huge pair of scissors. Yeah, we're
That's
doing
how
a
you gotta
ribbon
do
cutting.
it. Yeah.
So
I
you
don't know,
guys are doing it at
Go ahead.
9 a.m., but an hour before it opens? Or you're going to just open?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know
Yeah.
the times. Yeah, I'll know the time soon enough.
Damn, I'm putting you on the
Sorry.
spot.
There are full details on our. Go online to our website.
What website is that?
Brickmania-
There we go.
Brickmania.com, something like that.
Plug it.
Dot
Plug
com.
it. plug it.
Brickmania.com. And
There
then
we
click
go.
around and you'll find it. Giant ribbon cutting. Wait, the scissors are giant. The ribbon is probably of average size.
Can we get a giant ribbon? No.
Yeah, right. That's
Maybe.
well. Do the scissors have to proportionally scale to
Wait,
the ribbon? Is that
did
the
I
you
think
question?
supply the
These are good
ribbon?
questions.
I think the ribbon is in proportion to the building, right?
Is it huge?
Wow.
You guys didn't think this
I mean,
through,
you're the
although-
architect, Claire.
'cause
I think.
obviously the city is not.
Architects don't do that. We do that.
Oh, they don't deal with ribbons. Oh man,
I'm confused.
Is
We'll find out.
Claire, you're in architecture. Is ribbon cutting factored into the building?
Like a formality, or it's an informality, but like
Infamous formality.
no, like you have to get like TCO like from the city, an approval to occupy a space. But that's just like a stamp from the city and like an approval from an an inspector. The ribbon cutting is like usually like a PR thing with
Oh, come on, you got to talk this up more. This is important.
no, it's more of like an emotional thing for the
ceremonial.
Yeah,
Emotional.
it's for Brickmania. It's for
There we go.
the fandom.
We're getting a representative from
the city, right? From the mayor's office, I would assume.
I'm from the city council. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
I'm here to cut the ribbon.
Yeah. So no, I've usually
Official.
It's going to be awesome. What I'm trying to say is it's going to be awesome. You should all
it
probably
sounds
be there.
awesome. Yeah, I'll come. I'll wear a hard hat. Everyone will think I'm official. And I'll do it, and I'll just like joke with everybody, or prank everyone, and then the official comes later.
You can do anything with a hard hat or like a caution vest and a traffic cone. Anything.
Oh yeah, you can just like walk right through. I mean, the thing is like I've done that intentionally to like get onto job sites that I was supposed to be on. You just like wear the hard hat and you just like walk on. And usually you have to have the hard hat of the construction, like the general contractor that's doing the job. So that usually helps because they have their logo on it or something, or your own company. But yeah, you can walk onto anything. Really, it's kind of crazy. Like job sites are mostly open unless they're high theft areas.
You are Banksy, is what you're saying?
Well, like no,
I've heard of like graffiti artists doing this with like.
Well, you know that like most of the machines, like the
that's
operation, like most of the like lifts and things like that are on job sites, all have the same keys, right? Like across. So like, you could theoretically.
Is this?
I've heard
this.
How you can get away with jacking a giant lift?
You can't. You can't get away. I mean, places have security and cameras, and like but you could theoretically go and take a key and just like drive it around and do like donuts and like leave.
As long as you record it and
Speaking
post
from
it.
experience,
Do it for the gram.
No,
I mean, I wouldn't have any experience.
Wait, Shy. I've heard military vehicles have similar keys.
Yeah, every time we have like a new private come in and join the unit, and we'll be like, okay, just go collect all the Humvee keys or get the Humvee keys and all kind of stuff, or for the 7-ton, blah 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 blah, and they'll spend like hours trying to find them all. And then we'll tell them to go ask like a high-ranking enlisted or maybe an officer where the keys are at, and then before you know it, they got, for lack of a better term, their ass chewed out.
Was that before or after you asked them to check for the weak points in the armor?
Oh, that's for that's probably before.
Okay.
But the Humvee thing's a very easy one because for everyone who's listening here who has no idea what the hell I'm talking about, Humvees don't have keys. Just turn it knob and it turns on.
It's kind of inefficient to have like if you have to go on could you imagine like having to find the key and be like, I don't know the key. I mean, I'm sure that
even if you lost the key, if you're out and
that's it. We lost the key
and lose it.
Yeah, Humvees don't even have locks.
Everybody has those like magnet things or like the little like iPhone like strap, like what are those things like that?
Yeah.
I don't have any of those. I should have them. I lose my keys on my phone all the time.
That's gotta so that means the average like day-to-day parking lot is more of a security threat than a military battlefield.
Yeah.
Like if you don't gotta have a keys, I'm not gonna lock it here.
To get to that point though, where you're at the Humvees, right, you have had to gone through a bunch of armed guards.
You're like, let's go to Afghanistan. I have the great idea. Let's go do this.
I mean, not to get back into like history a couple months ago or half a year ago, there's a bunch of Humvees that we could probably take from Afghanistan.
It's true. I think that's a good investment opportunity right there. Yeah.
I wonder if they're still functioning, honestly.
Worth the risk.
No.
Just a little mechanics work, that'll get to functioning.
Wow, we totally digressed on where we're supposed to go with this.
How did we get here?
Let us rewind a little bit. Len, how do you think this past opening went?
Yeah, I have never seen such a big crowd showing up to a store all at once. We had the line going up around the building. I was kind of blown away by that. So I thank everyone that showed up to that. It was a lot of fun. So I hope that this next store is just as awesome.
So your previous stores weren't as like popping like that.
Like I think California's just there's a bigger base here, and
we got that West Coast energy, baby.
Yeah, man. And we haven't had a presence out here as much. Even like with the conventions, it doesn't seem like we get out here as much.
That's for sure.
You guys get screwed over. I feel for you. So I think there was some of that holding up and representing and showing up.
There you go. And then so we got round 2 little bit north from San Diego. So hopefully that turns out well too, because it's the rest of the West Coast.
Most people don't realize how big California is, so don't say a little bit north. Like this is like going from like DC to New York. It's pretty far.
Well, I mean, like West Coast, it's
Yes.
like a little bit north because people from Washington and Canada still have a ways to go to get.
Yeah, like
to-
you know how there's like 25 states on the East Coast. Well, there's like 3 here, and so you can imagine how big it is.
You know how long
true,
it
yeah.
took me to get home, like on Saturday?
I don't want to know.
It took me almost 5 hours from leaving Brickmania.
That's just because of traffic, right?
I was
Yeah,
just-
like the low cloud coverage, like by Camp Pendleton, was like unbearable to drive through. And then like only 2 freeways to drive north. They were both like filled with accidents, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's because you weren't on your bike.
I
Yeah,
was
there you go.
so regretting not riding down that way. I was like, I would have been home by now if I was.
Did
on
you
the
take
bike.
the family?
No, I just drove by myself
Hmm.
because they're gonna come with me going north. So like, there's no
Don't
point in
wanna
them coming down.
Double whammy. Well, I'm gonna be there. Sans is not gonna be there. He's unfortunately in Ohio.
Oh boo.
Very upset. But someone we know here who's like a big Brickmania fan and like wants to meet you, Shy. So I'm gonna introduce you. Be like,
Oh cool.
yeah, it's one of Sans' friends. So
Awesome.
Nice.
yeah.
That's actually pretty cool to meet people who like, because like when I go to a convention, I'm not in my element as far as people who like watch my stuff, but here I kind of am. But like I never thought I would. Hold on.
Well,
They've breached the door.
No, I totally get that. What Shai is saying, it's like interacting with fans for. It's like, they've been maybe watching us on YouTube,
yeah.
and it's really cool, just interacting with people face to face for the first time.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
they're more than just like a view or a watch or a click or a comment. And so it's like really nice to put a face to a name, which is like the best part about conventions or store openings or whatever it is. And like when Sans like sees people, like he gets recognized a lot because mostly because of Ryan and stuff. But so that's like it's really fun. It like definitely makes his day, especially if they're like little kids. Like he gets really excited. I usually get like adults, and which is that is like
It's
when
good,
we look
right?
at our
Yeah.
when we look at our analytics, it makes sense. Like there's like
Yeah.
literally a 20-year difference between our analytics.
So
Yeah.
I'm totally out of the loop on like the Lego YouTube. Believe it or not, I'm out of the loop on the Lego YouTube scene. It was interesting. At the last convention I was at, there was some Lego YouTubers out there, and it's like I hadn't personally ever met them,
Mhm.
but I've been to like conventions for years and years. So that was an interesting thing to see, like a new generation or a new like shift in the paradigm.
What convention was that?
Virginia.
Oh man,
Like when
Virginia.
we were there? Like when I
Yeah,
saw you?
yeah.
yeah, you were there. Yeah, you
That's
were
what we're
there.
talking about.
Oh yeah.
I
That was
thought Shai was there, but I guess he wasn't. He was
I was there in thumbnail.
Good photo. Yeah.
right. You
yeah.
showed me a thumbnail, and
Yeah,
I logged it into my brain. It's like, oh, Shai was there. No, he wasn't.
You know how many people like I got confused?
I recognized you from a thumbnail. Because that's all I've ever seen you. It's like, oh yeah, I totally seen Shai.
I remember hearing you talk about trying to size it perfectly. So you're like, I'm this tall compared to Sans. I'm gonna put myself.
That was the best. Everyone's like, was Shy really there? I didn't see him the whole time.
Absolutely was.
Ninja mode.
Yeah, that was Virginia.
Yeah, there were a lot of people there because that was like the first big convention after the pandemic. It was very exciting. I was very overwhelmed though because it was like pre-vaccines.
Yeah.
And so like it was so good that we were there like so much before the public days, because like during the public days I think I just like I was not enjoying. There's too many people, and plus you can't like see all the mocks and stuff.
The pre-days are, if you have a chance to go to a Lego convention, so people listening, and if you have not been to a Lego convention, you should just sign up and like, I don't even know if you have to build anything, but you can get there, ahead of time before the public days, and it is a blast. You will meet people that share similar, the same interest, right? It's a blast. They're so much fun.
Yeah. So if you're able to get a VIP access, that's like the main thing. So that way you don't have to be all stressed out with all the people that are surrounding everybody, and then you have like one-on-one intimate conversations with people you actually want to speak to.
Well, and I think you get like a spot on a table usually. Like
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
if you
reserve a
want
spot.
to. I don't even know
Yeah.
if you have to, but
No, you
That's
don't
what I
have to.
was
it's a little it's like not even that much more expensive than like just a day pass.
$20.
Just
It's not
right.
much.
just get it. It's totally
Plus, you can
worth
be
it.
there like not only just the weekend,
Yeah.
but you can be there the extra days. I think
Yeah, and
Chicago
they
coming
kick
up
you
is
out.
actually-
They kick the public out at like 6 or something like that. I don't know. It
Same.
depends at show, but you
Mhm.
can you still just hang out and it's a blast. So
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Are you going to Brick? Are you going to? You go to Chicago every year, right?
yeah, I think I'll be there. I haven't checked my schedule. I'm going to be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
Dan said their team was driving down in a
Team
bus.
is driving down in a bus.
with glass cases, something like this. No,
Yeah,
Man,
there you go. So,
probably.
yeah, I don't know if are you guys actually putting a booth out for Chicago or anything like that,
Dude,
or
you're putting me on the spot. I don't even
Yeah.
know these
So
days.
Dan told us all this stuff last week. So
Yeah,
like,
it's public
why don't-
knowledge.
I meant to watch that episode beforehand. I'm normally on
Okay.
top. I'm normally on top of the episodes, but
No, it's fine.
I didn't. The one I probably should have watched, I didn't.
It's cool. It just happened. You just got home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect you to like listen to it.
I think so Dan made it seem like there's going to be some special things going on at Chicago and at Virginia this year because of the move into the new location in Virginia.
Yeah.
And so that it will still like, there'll be theoretically something to celebrate of sorts in both.
Yeah. So Virginia, we have some. Or sorry,
Chicago,
no. In
Vallejo.
Miramar, we had some exclusive minifigures. That were just these are store exclusive.
oh,
Did
that's
you get
right.
Shy? You got them. You got them. Some awesome
Boom.
non-copyright infringing, awesome, great instructors.
Exactly.
They're great.
I love these.
Designed by yours truly.
But they're
Sorry.
like an additive thing to like a previous set, correct?
Yeah, we had a previous Shy. You got it.
Is this still available? Is the original one
There it
available?
is.
still?
We have periodically restocked it.
Okay.
I don't know if we're still doing that. They're due for an update. They're still pretty awesome, but
Are they different?
Chad, do you think they're awesome? I don't know. I don't
mean,
like talking
see,
about my own.
For me, though, I have a huge attachment to the source material of this.
So do I. I like literally it could not look like it. And you just like were like, yeah, it's kind of based off of it. I'd be like, okay, here's my money. Like it doesn't.
Mhm.
So yeah, at oh, my hat just totally came in. What the heck? Sorry.
Wardrobe
yes.
malfunction.
Sorry. What? No. But we're so like that instructors pack. We want to have some stuff like that in Chicago. I think we're gonna have some. Hopefully, it's exclusive. It's still in the planning pages, but we want to have some exclusive minifigures for each store location. Make it special. If you're gonna make the trip out to a store location, let's make it special. And like, yeah, it's. We've had a little bit of pushback with like, oh, come on, you got to sell this online, but it's I don't know, like
There's something good
It's
about having something
exclusive.
special. Like that's
Yeah.
cool. Like
I think there's a lot of brands that have been doing that for a long time, including Lego, and I think it works in their favor, and I think it makes it exciting, and there's a like collectivity or
Exactly.
collectiveness. I don't know what the right word is, but I think it's great.
I think it's rewarding fans. Like it's like
Yeah.
you're not just gonna get online as quick as you can in the morning and
just
snipe
buy
it
out.
and buy it out. You actually got to make the trip.
It's like the physical version of you had to be there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a nice memory because I think that like of course there's scalpers, and I think there already are people
Oh,
doing that. But like I think I think that really is the minority. I think the majority of people appreciate it as like a memory and like a token, like especially for like, little pack rats that we are. So
And the whole scalper thing, like I've kind of gone back and forth. It's like if the hobby that you're into isn't, if you don't see stuff popping up on eBay, it's actually good for the hobby in some respects. It's encouraging the brand itself. Me talking from completely outside of Brickmania. It's like it's good for a collector because it's establishing value to the thing you bought. It's encouraging the brand to produce more stuff. It's showing them that they're going in the right direction. So it's frustrating. We're trying to get the quantities out there, but whatever. yeah, we're trying to get quantities out there.
So are these like figs specifically going to be forever like you're going to make more restocks for those
Yeah,
locations?
the plan is to keep them in stock for the store
Here we
locations. So
go.
it's like you can still get them. Just make the trip, man. Or
Boom.
you know, pay the money on eBay or something, whatever.
Or have a friend.
Or
make
have
the
a
trip.
friend close by. Go.
It's an experience, man.
Exactly.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
So-
it would it definitely is more fun to like go get it yourself for sure.
It makes it worth it. It's something tangible to have at the end of a trip, you know?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if you look at it, in terms of like, or not in terms of like, oh, I got to drive all the way over there or fly over there, blah, 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 blah. I was like, no, well, you're
already
going,
going,
you're
yeah.
going, like, you know, and enjoy the time there, like make something out of it. You don't have to like for me, for example, I'm not going to be there the entire day when you're doing a store opening. I'm going to, you know, go there, but also do other things like, you know, kick with my brother, maybe chill with Claire, like have a family away trip
Mhm.
in a totally different city that we've never been at in California. So, you know,
An
it's
adventure.
just something that like kind of sparked just going out.
Well, it's interesting. So like I want to do a whole, I don't know how I want to do this, but there is such a thing as like Lego tourism. And just like there is like cosmetic tourism and fashion tourism, you know what I mean? There's like different industry, but like with Lego, there's like the conventions that surround it.
conventions
There's
do that.
like, yeah, there's the like, you know, hunting for vintage or not vintage, but hunting for like, you know, estate sales and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's like a more local travel thing. But like also this in theory is like going for store openings. Like we went to New York for one of the like, you know, flagship store openings and it was one of the most fun trips we've ever had. Like we loved, like I love New York. Sam's never been. I wanted to show him. And so I ended up like we were there for I don't know, we went to like a couple Lego stores, but that was, you know, barely even a portion of the trip. Like we were there visiting New York, but it like was additive to it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if it's kind of this whole it's an industry that doesn't exist, but it's one that like we've been like doing. Do you know what I mean? Like
No, yeah, you out of everyone here, you've been traveling a lot,
Mhm,
and
yeah.
it's good to like find reasons to go out now
Mhm.
because we've been kind of stuck at home this whole time. So it's like, oh, what can we do? As opposed to like, okay, let's just go to a city and figure it out. Like, no, you have a destination within the Lego community that you feel like you want to attend, and then you figure out a way to get there. Like for you just said it, the conventions work, or any of the Lego parks, I guess would work. I mean, if you can make it
Yeah.
to Primark, that'd be great. But that also includes like not just Lego branded stuff, but like the fandom of it too. That also
like
have
the whole
businesses like
world.
Atlantic Brick Co, like all
Mhm.
these Bricks and Minifig locations, and then now we have Brickmania like scattered all over the United States now. And like, you know, it's like you have to make it worth the trip for your customer too, because like you just mentioned right there, like you're gonna have you want to find a reason for people to come into your store, which is great, but you also want to make it special. Like, well, why should I go to Miramar versus Vallejo or Chicago? Blah 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 blah. if I'm
Oh,
going to
they
go-
also have store exclusive T-shirts that are in vibrant,
The plug.
like bright blue. I guess cyan is the term that you can
Oh,
only
man.
get there.
I didn't even pick one up. I should
It
have
is
thought of
it is in my opinion a little bit off brand, but I think they're still pretty awesome.
That color doesn't seem like
So
So on Fridays we at the office we have you're supposed to wear a Hawaiian shirt.
Mhm.
So it's maybe in that I think
Yeah.
if
Mhm.
I think Dan secretly wants to like build this like secret like Miami Vice kind
he
of
was wearing like a
layout.
Hawaiian shirt, right?
Oh, he was wearing
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that there's like this whole like Brickmania. It's not even like a culture. There's like lore that goes behind it,
The
and one of which,
lore.
yeah, the lore and like what is Brickmania canon and what isn't. And like
Oh my goodness.
I think like I'm sure people like have gotten into this because it's just like people create lore out of nothing, and so like I think yeah that would be you guys should make T-shirts that are like Hawaiian print but T-shirts and not
Oh
Hawaiian.
yeah, we were talking about it. No, that's funny.
Like,
Like
yes.
lore, we have our sub very sub theme is the randoverse, and it's
Yes.
honestly it's just like stuff that I don't know. It's kind of things that I've wanted to make, and they were nice enough to let me sneak it into some sort of a semblance of a
theme.
kit, some sort. Have
Yeah.
you seen these things?
Yeah, I like it. I like it because it's like a play on Landoverse, even though it's
Is that what's Landoverse? Is that a thing?
it's like your universe. No, I mean,
Okay.
like, I get where randoverse comes from.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Landoverse. I don't. Yeah. Landoverse. No, it's just purely I mean, I made these random minifigures, right? And this is the universe that encapsulates them. So the last one we had was it was a barber shop or a nice little hairdresser shop.
Shy, you have these, right?
Yeah, I love them.
yeah.
They're like
I
one of my
in the
favorite
back was
things. Yeah.
I only know them because of Shy. They're so cool. I mean, they're like this. When I see them, I'm like, my brain doesn't like
Get it?
it doesn't put together that it's Brickmania.
yeah. They are random.
No, which is good.
It's
It's
just
good.
right. They're random.
It's
How about
good.
No, so this last one was a 1980s ish kind of hairdresser shop, but obviously it's a front for a gun store. Right? Isn't that adorable? Wait, what?
Dude,
Not that side.
Sans
The
wants
front-
us because of Jack Stone, like that right there.
He's like, he's
Okay, so
freaking out.
and this is just an opportunity for us to sneak in just as many Easter eggs. So it's a nice little. So yeah, it's a nice little. That's the Portland Airport carpet, which is like
Yep.
the greatest carpet.
It's the worst.
I love how they replaced it with a arguably worse carpet pattern, and now this pattern is back in style.
It's
and
not
it's-
really back in style. The Orlando airport also has a similar one. It's terrible.
If people are taking like selfies with it and they're selling socks with the same pattern, it's like,
Oh my
man, that's like a marketing gold mine right there. It's like
I
just keep
know.
the pattern. It's horrifying. I love it.
Carpet's not supposed to last forever. It's disgusting.
I think they're selling that carpet.
I
like,
think
by
they
the
are
foot.
too. Well, that's because like Portland is like, oh, okay, like anything Portland will like make it weird and make it like, let's brand. Like Portland has created like a brand out of themselves, just like Iceland has. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is like, you go to Portland, you like have your beers, you keep it weird, you like see the carpet, it's like a whole shtick. You go, whitewater
shtick.
rafting, and then you come home, and it's the same. And like Portlandia was.
I missed the whitewater rafting, but
Oh, is it got it?
is that right in the middle of downtown? What's
It's it's like 20 minutes away. You can go rafting, and there's like
20 minutes?
yeah.
Okay, next time.
Yeah, next
Right.
time. I lived there for a while. There's like a whole lifestyle that's associated. It's like hoppy beers, rafting, like weird Portland, like just things to see, and then the carpet. That's like all I remember from Portland. And the rain.
Would
Yeah, I
you
got
live there
Portland.
now?
Yeah, it's really great. It's a great place to have a family and stuff.
So you guys are both going to the next opening.
Yeah.
Ninja, where are you at?
Crickets.
It's hard for Ninja to get out. Well, actually, Ninja's everywhere. We just don't know it.
Yeah, you just don't see me. I'm in the shadows.
In the shadows.
He's always in the shadows.
You gonna take the zip line there?
Zoot, yeah. I'm gonna
The
use the
Brickmania zip
smoke
line?
bombs.
Oh, damn. So one of the things that we talked about is like, at least when Lando and I were kind of just chit-chatting, was
this the hard transition here?
Yeah, you like
To
that?
onto the topic. Nice.
Yeah, onto the topic. So when we were chilling with each other, like you saw. Well, I mean, I can kind of bring this back into conversation. You saw me like try to convince parents not to let their kids join the military. Was that you
geez.
sitting? You were standing next to me. No.
You were talking to a guy that was like kind of on the fence, and you were just I think you were just saying like make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah,
You know.
I've
yeah.
never thought I would had conversations like that in the Lego community. So I've
Yeah.
always brought to like with friends that are not. If I'm like the military liaison in friend groups, I'm always that person to talk to kids to be like, hey, can you talk to my son for a second, or talk to my daughter for a second, and just let them know, blah 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 blah. And it's like one of those things where I think that they're gonna like hope that I convince them not to do it. And in the end of the conversation, I'm like, that's not my goal. My goal is to see if they're doing it for the right reasons or not.
Yeah.
And if they are, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to tell them how it is. If they're doing it for the wrong reasons, then yeah, I'll try to convince them to go the other way. But like when I leave the conversation, I look at their parents. It's always like I either shrug or I'm like, oh, he's not going to do it. So I never thought I'm going to have that type of conversation in like the Lego community. And I not only had that one time you were right next to me, but I had it like 7 times.
But you're in Brickmania, you know.
I didn't think that was going to happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like talking to children or parents of kids who want to join the military, and I'm like, and they're like, well, like, what do you think? I'm like, this is a conversation you need to have with your child.
Right.
I can't really give you anything. And I come from a military family. I have kids of my own. I just pretty much just say how I would have said it. Like, I personally don't want my kids to join the military, but I kind of do sometimes. But like, I don't want them to experience things that I've experienced. I don't want anybody to experience things that I've ever experienced. But like, it's one of those things that it's a necessity in society, like cops and, you know, like firefighters and paramedics. They see horrible things. And we need people like that to do it. Yeah. So like same kind of concept, but like I'm not one to push anyone to do it unless they just need guidance. But like it was shocking to like I'm like looking around the store and I'm like this is happening.
How did people know that you were the go-to person to do that? Like, did these people like know they didn't know who you are like as a content creator already?
So yeah, some of the kids did. Yeah, the kids knew.
So the kids knew,
and the parents didn't. Oh no, two of them did. Two of the parents did. Like, yeah, like, hey, my son watches your stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because it's like, do you think like the kid is like
influenced?
I want to be like shy. I want to go to.
Not necessarily. None of them. Like only like two of them wanted to be Marines. Like the rest of them want to do other things. So it's not like. And I talk trash about the other branches all the time. So it's. I was
gonna say, I wonder like if you have an unintentional like recruiting.
Like push. Recruiting.
Yeah, the unintentional. Yeah, like you're.
Yeah. Going into like being an influencer without trying to be one, in something I had no intention of doing, I guess is a good thought to like keep in mind that I've never really processed while making videos. And in that same realm, Lando and I were talking, and then he had a bunch of questions and revelations and stuff like that in regards to what we do here and similar platforms.
Revelations, man, you're talking it up here.
Well, you did have some stuff and I'm like, this sounds like it could be a good conversation. So Lando, you want to bring us on board?
Yeah. I guess the specific topic, I mean, there's not a specific topic. It's like this is all so new. Like, maybe people listening in that are younger that haven't, maybe they grew up with all this YouTube stuff, but really it is a new platform that we don't know what its capabilities are. We don't know what its potential is, but we also don't know what the dangers are of it. So it's as content creators. I'm not on YouTube as much as I used to be, and Dylan's kind of taken the helm on that. But it's like, as content creators, like, do we have responsibilities is my question in steering people. So, I mean, we were just talking about military, but even in like a bigger picture than that, it's like, is the purpose just to get the biggest amount of views? Is the purpose just, it's like, what are we actually bringing to the table here is kind of my question.
So, I mean, I personally feel like there's like a bunch of ways to go at that. There's definitely a business mind to it. So I feel like a good portion of it is, yes, you need the clicks. And how do you get the clicks? For what's trending or for what's popular at the time, is in regards to like doing things. Like a lot of that might not be morally right.
But that's social media marketing. So there's like two different things. Like, are you a brand trying to like expand your business and like have people buy your product? That's like very different than being an influencer and just creating an image and a lifestyle and experience, a viewing experience for someone that uses subconscious marketing strategies to quite literally influence buying and life choices. So like there's more than, like Shai said, there's like more than one avenue to do that. So like the thing is a lot of it has to do with visibility for businesses, right? It's like people don't watch TV and they don't see like TV ads anymore the way that they used to, or radio ads and stuff like that. So this is like how advertising works now. It's social media marketing.
Yeah. And
it's a different beast. It moves a lot faster. It changes a lot faster, and it gets a lot more eyes on it. Do you think individual businesses have a responsibility, a social responsibility for influence? I think it depends. Like, is there a company that has a carcinogenic in it that is trying to advertise to like small children? Yeah, but that's not really like Instagram or Google's fault, or like even the creator's fault. That is like, the drug shouldn't be approved by the FDA, so there's like, there are still institutions in place to like manage those things, but like our government hasn't caught up to the internet yet.
Right.
And so like, and it's going to take a while because like,
I mean, they're trying.
So
You already saw what happened like 2 years ago or a year ago with copper.
yeah, and like Europe is like way ahead and has like different things in place that would probably not work in this country because people have misconstrued what free speech actually means. And like, I don't know, it's like it's hard. It's really hard.
so maybe it's not like a responsibility that we have, but maybe more like an awareness we should,
Well, so
take into consideration.
so we fall into the latter category. We're not businesses trying to like, shill products. That's what Brickmania is doing. That's fine. But like
That's a little harsh here. No.
Well, no, but
I get it. We're a business, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
fair.
guys are a business, so there's like that. There's like that.
I don't know. Okay, quick interjection. You should go back on Brickmania's YouTube. I mean, please don't actually go back on Brickmania's YouTube, and you can see some earlier episodes where we're like trying to like act and like this is the sale for this week. I'm not a good actor, so.
Well, so that acting is like it doesn't work on platforms. FY, but yeah, you mean
You're
like
see right through it.
I'll look at it and just like roast you for it later. But like,
Please do. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, please don't.
No, it's fine. There's like a vulnerability and like a genuine nature that has to happen, and like with social media, because people need to feel like related to whoever's doing the content, and there's like a semblance of like a barrier not being there, like the way that it is with like Hollywood and stuff like that. But I think as content creators that exist in the Lego space, it is totally ignorant and naive to think that children don't watch your content. There is like a level of responsibility in terms of some, I mean, there's like different, you can interpret that different ways. Like, should you tell these kids to like go buy all this Lego and like pester their parents, and that if they become an architect, they can like afford this apartment and afford all the Lego that's behind me? I don't care. That's not my responsibility. The parents can take care of their kids. To be fair, like that is not my responsibility.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna like do things that I would deem inappropriate that like I think I wouldn't want my kid to watch on the internet for like the age group of someone who'd be interested in Lego.
So you wouldn't make a video of going into a job site and steal a tractor?
No, I wouldn't do that. No, like I wouldn't do.
That's your other channel.
You like that?
Right.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do things that like break the law just for like the sake of it, like I wouldn't just for like the clicks and the views. Like I wouldn't be like, let's like make a Lego set while skydiving without a parachute. Like I wouldn't do that. Like I wouldn't like, or like let's like build a Lego set while going 100 miles an hour down the freeway. Like I'm not gonna do stuff like that, right? And then like I think like that maybe is like the degree. I'm also not gonna like sexualize myself on the internet. That's like a different thing. That's a personal decision. And also like, we have enough of that content right now, and, we're not talking about like body positivity and like, sexual, like that there's a whole conversation that can be had about the pros and cons of doing that, but that's different. But yeah, I don't know. I just, that's my soapbox. What are your thoughts?
There's there was like 50 avenues in that one.
Well, I've been thinking about it this whole time. No, because I think about this all the time. Like I personally feel a responsibility to create content as someone who had the privilege of being highly educated and had the privilege of having a successful career. Like I had like things happen in my life that I was able to do these things. Therefore, I should pass on some of the knowledge and some of the things that I learned to get to this place where I can afford all this Lego, or to like, talk eloquently and in an educational way about why certain Lego sets are interesting from a design perspective, from, all these things. I see a responsibility to do that. And not only that, but to create content as like a confident, educated, like female identifying person. Like I feel responsible to do that because there are so few of those people in the Lego space. And it's very dominated by a lot of like teenage boy energy, which is totally toxic in its own way. It's less bad than teenage girl energy, but it is bad. And so like, do you know so I feel that responsibility. So I think about this all the time. I'm like, well, what should I do? But and then like I end up doing a haul video and I'm like just an idiot. I'm like, look what I got. And then like, I get like stunted. Like, so I don't know what the right answer. Also, I don't have that many subscribers, so it doesn't really matter. Like my impact is not that that far reaching. But yeah, I don't know what I would do. I think I would get what is it when you get like not stage fright, but like I can't remember there's like a rhyming phrase of like when you're supposed to execute something and then you get totally stunted. But that's what happens to me basically.
Freeze up. I don't know.
I'm just gonna just touch on not to divert the conversation, but you just said that you don't have a lot of people that you speak to, or that you reach out to. I think you have enough, and I think everyone here has enough. Like, if you were to consider that the people who watch your stuff to be in the same room as you at one time, that's a lot of people.
Oh yeah. And there's some musicians that say, man, if this song could just change one person's life, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
I
real.
like
Like,
that. That's great.
so, you know, when I look at size growth and then like especially viewership, and I'm disappointed by the outcome of, you know, whatever goes out there, I look at it in kind of real life ratio. So like the most people I've ever dressed in real life would probably be 2,000 people. At the most. I think I'm like yeah, about that. But like, you know, on average, in like real impact, like 30 people at a time. Yeah, that would be my motorcycle club, my platoon that I deal with, or at work when I'm, you know, when I used to run people. Even in comparison to those real life situations, like the videos are 10 times more than that. And like, if you just equate it to like people really listening to what you have to say, it's pretty big. You know what I mean? Even if it's just 50 people.
Well, and especially if they're still listening to us like this far into the podcast, you know, this is kind of the, you know, the
Yeah.
podcast, the viewership goes down the further the podcast is. So I people are still listening. That's pretty dope.
Oh no, yeah. You know,
Oh,
like
right
there
on.
is a number of people that will like listen all the way through, and I visualize it like that. Yeah, there's not like thousands of people watching this podcast, but there are hundreds of people who are willing to sit down and listen to what you have to say. So that's an impact on itself. It might not be
Sure.
like movement changing, but it's enough to like spark conversation and like get people thinking.
That's kind of the push of this overall question is like we get this opportunity. We you know, you guys have taken this leap in getting this dedicated channel, and you know, thanks for having me on here. And it's like you guys get to bring on guests, you guys get to talk to these people consistently. It's like that was kind of my question is like what's do we have like a responsibility to convey some sort of a message? And it seems like the I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news and whatnot of the era. It seems like all a little bit like sketchy and uncertain these days. But it's like, you know, you got to contrast that in light of, you know, zoom out a couple hundred years. Like I do believe truly that we are in the best era of humanity that we've ever seen.
Yes, hands down.
Like by magnitudes, you know, would you want to go into a hospital 40 years ago? Like even in the middle of a pandemic, you know, it's like, would you really want, you know, we have so much better technology. We have so much better information. Yeah, it's like there seems to be a scary message that's kind of like popular right now. I mean, that gets the clicks, that gets the views, right?
Yeah.
But it's like that's not the truth, you know, even
Well,
though it's what's out there.
do you think having like clickable titles and inflammatory like headings for like news articles and things like that, I think they fall within the same vein, and I think they also fall within the same line of false advertising. But because you're not like paying money for something and there's not something like transactional, so like, and I'm a capitalist at heart, so but there needs to be things to like, you know, defend that or to keep that transaction safe, and one of that is it's illegal to be false advertising. Obviously, there's, you know, different gray areas of that. Like a clickbait video is false advertising, in a sense. Like there's like news articles and headlines that are complete falsities,
Right.
and you read the article, which most people don't do.
Yeah, what is it? It's like I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that fake news, quote unquote, spread or is shared at a much higher rate at what like legit titles are. So this is the question: is like, how do we combat this? Because it's not going away.
This is also not new. So
Sure.
It's new in
Right.
this realm of social media,
The
but it's
digital
not new.
space,
Media's been doing this for decades.
It's
Like,
that old game telephone.
yeah. So this conversation is like reminding me of my senior thesis. So my senior thesis was moral panic. So for using motorcycle clubs as like the equation. So like motorcycle clubs, especially 1%ers, get a bad rap, and for good reason. It's kind of their fault. But like, because a confrontation happens that's very isolated in one area of the country, now there's a problem everywhere. So like, you can equate that to many other issues in our society. Like if something happens here, it's a problem everywhere else. The media amplifies it just to get, back then ratings up, right? Now it's like clicks and views and all that kind of stuff. So it hasn't really changed. And going back to it, like moral panic, it scares the audience, which means you're enticed to listen and you want to like engage and like freak out. But in reality, it's just there was nothing there. there's nothing to be scared of.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch like Making a Murderer and stuff like that? So there's a couple shows that are basically like, or also about like how society like creates society's like obsession with like gore and like trauma and stuff like that. And it's really interesting. I don't know like if you guys feel the same way, but like I'm more interested in that stuff than people in my life that have actually seen that stuff. Like I was an EMT for like a few years in college, and I saw like a few unfortunate things. And I grew up in hospitals because my mom was sick my whole life. Unfortunately, she had a treatment 40 years ago or like I guess 35 years ago that saved her life and then killed her in the long run. So yes, medicine is like super, super, super like advanced. And yes, like we should all be like super happy that we like, especially the majority of us that live in the United States, like it's still, we have access to great things. You don't have to wait 8 weeks to like get your, leg that's broken to get fixed. So yeah, just like, knock on wood with all that stuff. But like people that have actually seen horrible things or been at war are not obsessed with those like murder TV shows, but it's like stay at home people are like totally obsessed with those like CSI and stuff. It's like a human suffering and a human panic that almost like needs to happen in some form. And because like life is so good now and like we have
okay,
curiosity, maybe
just like a self-fulfilling.
It's like we create our own traumas. Yeah, it's like we create our own like, it's like we're traumatized from like, I don't know, whatever like social like thing that's happening in our lives. And so, to see something that's worse, we like watch these like CSI thing. I don't know what it is. I'm not
No, but you're not wrong. This is actually ancient type of thinking, because you always remember the bad things that happen so that doesn't happen to you. Like, yeah, exactly. Don't attack this mammoth because it will trample over you. Like that's
we really is
don't touch fire,
ancient brains living in modern times, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
we're just getting used to like agriculture, I think,
Yeah, we're just like finally like there's even things that the ancient Romans have done that we haven't figured out yet. So it's like we're still like, yeah, we have the internet, but there's like a lot of things that we don't have. It's really interesting because I think the difference, Shy, from everything like media and and propaganda from before, and is the difference now is the speed and the rapid, like how rapid it spreads. Yes. And how within your silo that you exist in the real world. So when you read something online, you exit, and the people around you feel the same way about most things, and most people, they think the same way, and so it becomes an echo chamber wherever you're living. Yeah. And you theoretically have a choice of where to live, and so you have a choice of what echo chamber you want to have, whether you're conscious.
I mean, before you didn't have a choice of your friends back then,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and then like you can even create your own, even more specific silo on the internet with like Reddit and 4chan or whatever it is that you're on, and good luck to you. But
Qui-Gon Jinn mentioned this in Star Wars. Your focus determines your reality.
It does, yes.
Best character in Star Wars.
Nice.
It's like whatever you're focusing on, you think that's it at the moment, But to someone else, they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
This is Liam Neeson, right? This is his character.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Of course. Certain set of skills.
Way to kill that, Ninja.
No,
that's real.
No, it's true though.
He put the nail. That was the point.
Yeah, I'm done.
That nailed it in right there.
I'm sorry, Claire.
If Qui-Gon Jinn said it, dude, that's absolutely legit.
Yeah.
Respect. You gotta respect Qui-Gon. I'm sorry.
Oh no, for someone who only lived in one episode to be remembered in all future
It's Liam
Star Wars
Neeson.
lore, yeah.
It's not
They
really.
brought Darth Maul
I'm
back.
talking about his
retconned
character. I'm
him,
talking about
so
his
it's like
character. Yeah.
they're gonna bring Qui-Gon back,
Oh, he.
To be
or is he
fair,
back?
Shy,
I don't know.
can I just tell you guys, like, I am not impressed with Star Wars fandom. Like, the fact that Boba Fett became such an exciting and obsessed character out of, like, I was like, Sans, I don't understand why is everyone obsessed. He's like, he just looks cool, Claire. I'm like, that's it? That is
Yeah.
everyone's obsession with this guy?
You
Unacceptable.
also got to remember back then there wasn't other things to be looking at.
I know that.
The mystery.
I am aware. I was thinking, I was like, people were obsessed with Boba Fett with just the original trilogy. I was like, I don't get it. There's like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway.
Shout out to anyone that made it to this combo right here. No.
I'm just like,
I
maybe,
appreciate
like, I don't
Star Wars, but there is a better series out there, you know.
You
You're
just better
fine.
not say Star Trek.
I'm not I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
You just saying.
Truth
Yeah.
exists.
There's
You don't. Sci-fi is awesome. Scientific fantasy is okay. Science-themed fantasy. Sorry, whatever.
no, I
Wow.
agree. I think that I don't know. There's a lot of things that go on in. No, okay. Look, I think like Star Wars is just taking like.
Very pivoting this conversation to Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Yeah, I could talk about that actually quite a lot, and it's I think and George
All right.
Lucas's like reuse of like you know
Uh-oh.
like ancient just like story formats and applying them to like you know a character world that it's cool, it's interesting. It doesn't work as well as I think everyone wants it to work. But anyway, that's my thought.
I didn't think that quote would totally derail the whole thing.
Hold on. You want me to bring it back? So, Star Wars, Lego, these are both forms of entertainment, right? And same thing with YouTube, right? So these are forms of entertainment, right? So we have I think there is a responsibility. It's a moderation thing. How much do we consume of any form of our entertainment is the question that I'm still kind of pursuing. Is like, how deep do you want to go into the lore of Star Wars or Star Trek? Like, it's interesting to know about. Like, I love Lord of the Rings. I love all these different genres. But it's like even delving too deeply into the lore of something, you know, that's still entertainment. And I think entertainment should be consumed in moderation because we got some pretty big fish to fry first.
Do you think like these entertainment houses like Disney and whatnot have a social responsibility to respond
Ooh.
to things? Because I think I find that interesting. I think it's in their own best interest to like stay relevant and stay desirable. But I think a lot of people are making decisions out of like fear of cancellation. And there is good and bad that comes with that. Unfortunately, with the minds that should be changed, it is perceived poorly. So,
Ooh.
Are you saying is it up to the response? Is it the responsibility of like government versus corporation versus consumer? Like, who's got the responsibility of consumption?
yeah, and then the different corporations like media or news media, like is it like entertainment media versus news media? You know, so it's like it just seems like
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
you
I
see-
really don't.
I guess we can start it from like government perspective. So the purpose of our government is to like keep us safe.
What is it?
essentially,
It's
right?
what's the Thomas Locke? It's like
Yeah.
life, liberty, property.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's what it is.
with recent times of information being spread loaded quickly than ever before, it's kind of hard to control that. There's not enough. I mean, all social media platforms, like, they have some level of control and filters that they go through. I mean, I feel bad for people at Facebook or Meta or even YouTube or Google who have to look at all these really disturbing things that are being posted on social media to make sure that it doesn't go on to the
Yeah.
platform.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Also, the people deciding like what they should do and how they should approach are just people just like the four of us here having a conversation. And so a lot of
That's
people,
gonna be a tough job.
it's a super
It's
tough
super
job.
hard.
My friend does that at Twitter. She's incredibly talented.
At Twitter?
It is
Oh my goodness.
incredibly stressful.
Mhm.
And she has one of the most rational, thoughtful heads I've ever seen in my life. And she's definitely the right person for the job, but like, it's very difficult. And like these people, and you have to also think at all of these companies, it's just human beings that are just like behind it, trying to make decisions. And these companies that have gotten themselves more advanced than the government, like people, kids don't pay attention to what the government is doing. They don't care about politicians. Like, doesn't matter what it is. The only time they care about a politician is when they ingrain themselves in social media. Hence what happened with the last presidency. And so like the only way, and so is it the government's fault for like not staying on brand and not staying relevant?
I don't think they can keep up. I don't think they can keep up. That's not what they're made to do right now.
I mean, isn't the government supposed to just be a representation of the people? Like,
it is to a degree,
it's our responsibility.
I mean, who the hell goes into government anymore? Like, who actually takes on that position? Usually a lunatic narcissist, because it's such a hard thing to do. You have all this attention that's focused on you. It's almost easier to become a celebrity or to become a YouTuber. And it's like, what kind of personality? It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would anyone do that? You know what I mean? And so it's like, we've created an environment that creates, politicians that are mostly crooks. And then like, oh wait, everyone's like, wow, I'm so surprised. Like, this has been going on forever. Like, and now that we have the information, people are like surprised. And it doesn't make sense. They're like, oh, I had all those lobbyists. It's like, you didn't even know how the government was structured before. Now you just learned what lobbyist means.
I mean, isn't ultimately the government, I mean, you vote with your dollar. So they're in power because of the consumer. You
can literally bring in like capitalism versus Marxism. Like, there's a lot of stuff that people are so afraid of that they're like, okay, let's give more control to the government. Hey, we've done this already. Let's not do that. And so I think as social media creator or social media content creators, we have to be conscious of our decisions, but we are not responsible for the internet that small children, or like the content that small children consume. That is still on the parents. We just have to like navigate what it's like to be on this platform. And there's also responsibilities that we have to ourselves, to our personal lives, to our families, to our careers, to our businesses that have to be addressed. So like, I think it's easy for parents to like blame issues on the media, YouTube creators, and the government, and to like try to put like a Band-Aid over the whole thing. And moderation is absolutely one of the partial answers for it, but it's also like just awareness and learning how to like read and how to like intake content, whether it's like literature, news media, or social media. I think that would be like a good bow. It's like not part of it is our responsibility of like awareness, but it's not our responsibility to take care of the masses. It's not.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Right. And I guess the part two of it, I don't even know if I had a question for the first part, but the part two,
it was a topic though.
The part two is like, it's like, yes, we have all these things that invoke negative feelings, bad, they're tough. They are really tough beyond what I or anyone else can really comprehend. What is like the positive message that we can bring to people in the Lego community?
Oh, that's easy. Like how to have fun and just be like, have a childlike sensibility and have a creative nature and like, just like not be bogged down by like the social stigma of playing with toys as an adult. I think that's
this. We're in 4 different locations in the United States right now.
For sure. But like a lot of communities have that, to be fair. Like the difference here is like, is the Lego aspect, which is I think pretty special. You know, like my house is like just like full of this crap. It's like I'm drowning in it. I'm just drowning. Thank you, Emily, by the way. But
we're just organized hoarders.
Some of us might not be as organized as Claire. Or at least not right now.
Do you want a part 3? Do you want a part 3? I have it.
Yeah, good. Let's finish it.
Okay, so part 2, that's easy. It's very easy. It's like we have this awesome, like we all get it. This hobby's pretty dang awesome. But there's plenty of people out there that they don't really have access to these groups. They don't have access to the Lego. So it's how do we springboard into getting to those groups, into helping the bigger picture?
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm the anti-fall.
Like humans are tribal by nature. That's what we all are. Like we don't do very well, or we don't live as long if we're isolated. So any person out there does well when they're with people of like mind and like interests. That's no matter, even if it's negative, it's at least
It's
Yeah,
human nature.
it's
Yeah.
human nature. So for us, we all love this. We all love the brick. We can talk about this for days and still be cool with it. And it's good to like see people like this come out of their nerddom, like hidden beneath themselves in all these corners of the world, and like to project this. Lego's already doing that. They're pushing their whole 18 plus lines. I mean, like, that's doing a wondrous thing. One of the benefits, I guess, few benefits that happen from COVID, but like all we can do is just continue doing with what we are and not paint it in a negative light and not focus on like stupidity, which a lot of, I feel, Claire mentioned earlier, is toxic coming from certain areas of this space. It comes from a level of maturity that we need to continually.
TBE, teenage boy energy.
Yep. They can be. I mean, I was a teenage boy. I was hella annoying, so I get it.
I was a teenage girl. I was toxic. It was awful. I was an awful child.
Teenagers are horrible.
I don't even want to think about it. My daughter's birthday was a couple days ago. It's getting closer.
Oh, dude. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Not to say that all teenage boys are bad. No, I'm not saying that. Just when you have a bunch of them together in a social setting, I'm like, oh god,
Things happen.
Let me walk this way.
We were at Disneyland like a couple weeks ago, and I think there was like a high school rugby, which I was kind of surprised about. I think they were rugby players. I think they were in high school. I've gotten to an age I can't identify people's ages. I can identify kids because I'm around like friends with kids more. Like I'm not really around like high schoolers at all. And they were either in high school or beginning of college. And it was like a whole group of them. And they were just, it took everything for Sans to not sock one of them in the face. Like they were so, and he is not an aggressive person. They were so rude, so disrespectful. And just like they were just like teenage bro energy that I was hoping I thought was canceled somewhere, but I think it exists. So
well, it still does.
Yeah, I was like, I thought this was.
No, it's not done. It's a lot of it's still out there.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be teenagers, right?
I know, and like I think a lot of us are like I get definitely triggered by it. This is like definitely a different conversation, but I totally get triggered by it because my university was like very fratty. And I like pop collars and like just like that kind of energy.
Oh my goodness.
And literally I like I twitch
visors,
polo tees.
Yeah, and just like
Abercrombie.
Just like rampant, sexual assault and just like awful stuff. So
beaded necklaces.
No, that was
ripped baggy jeans with tight Hollister shirts.
That was high school. I went to school on the East Coast, which is like very. I don't know. We'll talk about it later, but anyway, that's a different conversation.
So, to wrap it up, Lando, what do you think is the answer to that?
I thought
okay. I hope this doesn't get too deep or whatever. Okay.
Oh no, we've already went there. So
humans, right? I think there's a shared human experience, right? We're only on this planet for a little bit, and I think there's a lot that we just subconsciously transfer in between individuals. I think there's a ton that we just like subconsciously absorb from really anybody we talk to.
Yes.
And it's not like a hive mind, but it kind of is. And so it's like you look at these, like, no doubt what these whatever like bros are talking about, like no doubt it's like scummy, but it's like this is still kind of some sort of weird shared experience that we're all having. And like every single vantage point, like I think we all, in order to get this whole experience into, like, to define it, I think every single vantage point is relevant, and that does create an awkward paradigm in which, like, scummy people, their viewpoint is still a piece of information.
Yeah.
And like it's wrong, but it's still something to be like accounted for, and in like a weird way, like, not grateful is the wrong word, but it's like it's still a good thing to have, even if it's just for the sake of knowing that they have that information. Yeah, I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
I
For
like
something to
that.
be good, there needs to be a bad. That's
Exactly.
very simple.
Like I know a lot of people that are like completely straight edge. They don't touch alcohol, they don't touch drugs, all because they've seen like their parents do it, you know what I'm saying? So they've
Mhm.
seen that. They're like, I don't want to take that path. So they
Right.
had the bad example.
Right.
So, you know, it helps someone else. That negative energy helps someone
But that's like
positively
fear-based,
react.
you know, and like no good decisions come from living your life in a fear-based.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it would be fear-based, but it's kind of like good, right? They're not messing with drugs and stuff because
Yeah, because their parents did it, and their
'Cause
parents, and they probably
it's
have trauma and some messed up stuff,
well,
you know?
yeah, definitely that. But I mean,
Right,
it's
right. So
more,
back it up to those parents. It's like, why are those parents messing with drugs? Why are they messing with alcohol? What's
of
their
course, yeah.
what crap brought them into that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's still ultimately their responsibility to fix it, but
Got to have bad examples, basically.
it's
Yeah.
I don't think it's as I know it's not as black and white as news or culture, whatever we're painting it out to be. I think we have a lot. I think we have magnitudes more in common with each other than what we do have differences, even though there's some really tough differences. That's maybe the responsibility
deep.
we have to figure this crap out, man.
Hmm.
Final level here or something. I don't know.
Well, it's almost like we have gotten to ourselves to be in like such a good place theoretically, right? Like, especially this country, right? That we can now
We have the
focus.
luxury of talking about whatever anything. This is all, what we're talking about here. Ultimately, is how are you supposed to sort your bricks? Is really the.
By
You're
color
Are
or
you
by
supposed to sort by? No, honestly, you're
Color
supposed to
by
dump all your pieces onto the floor.
No, and
Yeah.
like what gives you joy? You got to do like the Marie Kondo method. If a piece doesn't give you joy,
Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Okay.
like these plates don't give me joy,
Toss.
I'm gonna pitch it.
Gone.
Are you really though?
No, of course not. I'm not
Exactly.
How do you?
It's for the
I
gram.
am
No, I'm just
genuinely
kidding.
curious. How do you guys sort your collection? I sorted my entire collection, and that was the day that I stopped building.
It
Because there's the right way, and then
There's the
right
way
way. Oh my
other
god.
people do.
no, everybody is entitled to my opinion. That's
Entitled to your opinion.
It's on
So what's
topic.
your way, Lando?
It's on topic.
I think just sorting. I know it's completely it is wrong, but I prefer sorting by color, and
It's
then
not wrong.
you just have a giant bin. You have a giant bin of color. Well, I don't build like if you're okay. It's completely defined by objective, so you can't just have to say what's the system for sorting is the wrong question. It's what is your system for sorting if you're trying to build models? What is your system for sorting if you're trying to collect Lego pieces?
Hmm.
Those are two completely
If you're trying
different
to put sets
systems.
together,
Yeah, there's many different systems for sorting,
If you're running
and
a
they're all
Brick
wrong.
Link store,
No,
and
you
they're
might
all
be right.
wrong.
They're all wrong. Just dump them
Cold-blooded.
into a giant bin and paw through them like a dog.
This is giving me
That's
anxiety.
like
right
stage
now.
one. That's stage one organization right there.
I'm like, oh no, I gotta no. Sorting sucks. No matter how
Yeah.
you do it, it's not fun. And Claire's been doing it for months.
I enjoy it. It's
And it
just I
won't
wish
stop.
I had more space.
That's a key to find on how you sort your Lego collection is your space.
It'd be cool if like I started this Lego hobby, or like I've always had it, but if I started like very seriously collecting, like 4 years from now, that would have been much more convenient for my life.
4 years from now,
4
like
years.
start, or 4 years like be where you're at.
No, I mean like I just like there's more than enough space in like a 2-bedroom condo for me and Sans. Like there's more than enough space. There's not enough space for me and Sans and a Lego collection. There's just like it's like it
A
doesn't.
double
A
Lego
joint
collection.
Lego collection
Yeah,
at that.
What's the objective for the sorting?
I mean, I like to build blocks, and so does he. So it's mostly that. But we,
And so you
the way
know exactly what piece you want next.
sometimes, I mean, sometimes like I just take out like a bunch of like. There are times when I wish it was like by color, like if there was like a whole, like I was doing a build that was mostly gray, but then I'd parted out the Daily Bugle, and I had a big bucket of the Daily Bugle, like all the parts, which are like 90% gray, and I still couldn't find what I needed. I was like, I hate this. And so like for my brain, it just doesn't work. But so like I need it by part, and so does Sans, which is convenient. But we argue about how most of the Lego is stored. like there's like certain
Because
pieces.
it's like 90% of a collection.
No, it's just like certain pieces he thinks belong in like minifigure parts, and like other pieces like he has these like containers that he really likes, and like I don't really like digging through something like with my fingers unless it's like something clear that I can flip upside down and see underneath. Like I need something clear. And he's like, no, we already have these containers. I'm like, I'd rather throw them out or like get something that works. You know what I mean? So this is really interesting stuff, you guys, I'm sure really care
No,
about.
I do want to know what the perfect. I'm curious as to what people's answers are for the perfect system, because my observations have been that it's like the majority of people's collections go completely untouched. That's been my experience and observation.
I think it depends. Yeah, I think you should only talk to people who actually are producing mocks, which is not me right now. So,
Or
Like
we
real mocks. Yeah.
Brickmania can figure out a way to incorporate a system of play to enjoy your Lego instead of just leaving it on the shelf. Boom. Dan, I hope you listen to that one part.
Boom.
System
no.
of play.
no.
What?
What do you mean? Like
What are
you
you
want?
talking about?
The 18 under Brickmania kits.
You're supposed to melt all your bricks down and then
And
start
get
from
it.
scratch.
And
Like
get
gold.
like a injection molding machine yourself.
Don't collect anything. Just melt it all down. Is that what you're saying, Chad?
No, that's not what I'm. Oh my
Liquidate.
Destroy your Lego?
No.
Why would you even suggest this? This is
I'm talking
terrible.
about a system of play like D&D, more so like
Oh.
Games Workshop type of stuff, and where you have your tanks out and you battle out with each other, or you create stories, or blah 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 blah. So that way, your sets that you've built, because a lot of people don't mock, can enjoy it after the build.
Every piece has to be used somewhere.
A Lego
is
tabletop.
what you're saying.
game.
I don't know, Shy. I think you like looking at your sets on the shelf.
Yeah, those do.
Like,
Yeah.
look
You
at
wanna
these tanks. Look at all your tanks you have lined up. You want to go?
Yeah, but how
together?
fun it would be to use those. I mean, I redo it. My Black Falcon army has
You want
gone through
Warhammer,
a-
but Lego.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never played like that. I never like when I was a kid. I never was like,
Warhammer is just.
I
What
was never
toys did
like-
you play with as a kid?
like I didn't. What did I play with? I actually just went through my toys. I guess what age range?
I don't know. What stands out? First toy.
My Duplo bucket when I was like 2 was like pretty significant.
That's just
No, wow.
Warhammer, but
Flex.
bigger scale.
Smooth.
No, I'm serious. Like,
Yeah, I liked Barbie a lot.
That's even bigger scale Warhammer.
Oh my god. Okay.
Without the custom. Oh, I guess you could customize.
There's
yeah.
so much custom. Oh man, like each one of those. No, like
I'm a board game person, and I know you.
Oh,
can
look at that.
you can easily transition that.
Monopoly is just
God.
Warhammer, but
But with
I like
violence,
and yeah.
physical violence.
yeah. Oh my god. I'm just saying, it would be cool using stuff that you already have, and I'm not just saying with just Brickmania. I'm talking about like even your actual
Barbie
Yeah.
is what you're talking about. Barbie Warhammer. There's a
Barbie
crossover
Warhammer.
that-
That will be
That's
a
the
huge
crossover
battlefield.
that we needed.
You know how
The
big
exclusive.
that game board's gonna be?
Exclusive.
Are they like
Barbie
Titans
Titans
like-
on the
is it like-
battlefield?
Is it like old Barbie where she was like unreasonably skinny, or new Barbie where she's like a little bit more realistic?
Well, there's-
Because clothes don't fit the old ones. The new ones don't fit the old. It's a whole problem.
Oh,
Isn't that a real life problem sometimes?
Tell me about it.
Cold blooded. I'm sorry.
again, we have diverted to another competition in which we can't get ourselves out of.
No, that's it. Just call it.
I'm gonna call it. So
I got nothing
Um,
for you, man.
thanks, Lando, for making our minds think like we haven't thought in quite some time here. So
Got these
appreciate
cogs
you.
turning.
See you at Vallejo
On
yeah,
Saturday.
we'll see you tomorrow.
soon.
Technically,
Is that? Oh my
Tomorrow.
goodness!
It's- yeah,
I'm
tomorrow.
currently on a
Technically.
plane right now.
you're flying.
Isn't
How
this
you
like a
doing this?
wonderful like little spot to have in the plane? Wow.
Yeah,
green
that's
screen.
probably
Guys
like
in a minute.
Emirates Airlines or something. Like I don't even know what.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, I'm
VIP
killing it. All
lounge.
right, guys, thanks, guys. Bye. Peace. Oh my god, I was like, where is this conversation going?
It's the Lando Rando. Right there.
It's
Do you
like-
have like a
I-
set limit that you have to stick to?
No, I edit through. That's why I'm like, I don't want to.
Did I give you too much editing time?